Hi 5P, so we're going to continue chapter 5, the second lesson, which is subtracting decimals. Last time we did adding decimals, so this will be pretty similar. So the objectives are I can subtract decimals without regrouping, which is pretty simple and straightforward, and I can subtract decimals with regrouping. Okay, so we're going to start with this problem. I can subtract decimals with regrouping. Find the difference between 29 and 98 hundredths and 42 and 31 hundredths. So I am going to write my, so I want to subtract the smaller number from the bigger number. Over here it's showing us that we have 4 tens, 2 ones, 3 tenths, and our 100th. Okay. I'm going to show it to you over here as I solve the problem. So 42 and 31 hundredths minus 29 and 98 hundredths. Every time I have a decimal, I say the word and, right? Notice also how I lined up my place values. I lined up my decimals, but more importantly, I lined up my hundredths, I lined up my tenths, I lined up my ones, and I lined up my tens. So now I can do 1 minus 8, which I can't really do. So I'm going to go to my 3, right? And this becomes a 2. So now I do 11 minus 8 is 3. 2 minus 9 I can't do, so I go to my 2, and this becomes a 1, and this becomes a 12. So 12 minus 9 is 3, right? This is similar to regular subtraction. We're just making sure we keep track of our decimals. I'm doing 1 minus 9, right? But I can't take 9 from 1, so I go to my 4 tens, and it becomes 3 tens. Now I have 11 ones minus 9 is 2, and 3 minus 2 is 1. So my final answer is 12 and 33 hundredths. Okay, it's going to demonstrate it here for you with the chips. I'm going to go through it, but at any point during the video, of course, you can pause to understand what is happening with the chips, okay? So that's representing the 42 and 31 hundredths. Okay, I'm exchanging my 1/10 for 10 hundredths. Okay. It's subtracting. Now I have 2 hundredths left right there. 2 minus 9, right? And now I'm going to be exchanging 1 for 10 tenths, so I can continue my subtraction. Okay. So at any point, if you want to pause the video to understand what's happening, how the algorithm is matching the manipulatives, the place value chips, right? So now I have one left. I'm subtracting 9 from 1, so I'm going to borrow my 10. 1/10 will become 10 ones, right? So now I have 11 minus 9. Okay. So when it's all said and done, I'm left with 12 ones and 33 hundredths. Okay. So if you look over there, I did it for you, and over here I did it for you, and the chips should hopefully to understand what's happening over there. Okay, let's do the next problem. Okay, now this is also going to require us to regroup. Make sure, though, that when you rewrite this problem, you line it up correctly. Okay, so here I go. If I have 5, we're going to write it like this. 5 wholes minus 1 whole and 35 hundredths. Okay, so hopefully this will refresh your memory. I know you've done this in the younger grades, but 5 minus 0 I can't do. I don't have any tenths, so I go to my 1. My 5 ones, this becomes 4 ones. This becomes 10 tenths, and then becomes 9 tenths, and then this becomes 10 hundredths, right? 10 minus 5 is 5, 9 minus 3 is 6, 4 minus 1 is 3. So there I have 3 and 65 hundredths. Of course, if I wanted to check my work, I can add 3 and 65 hundredths plus 1 and 35 hundredths, right? So I have 5. That's the end. Okay. So that's basically subtracting with regrouping. A lot of the problems definitely have a lot of regrouping required. Okay, that's my 5. I'm taking away my 1 whole and 35 hundredths. Again, you could pause this video. Okay, we're left with 3 and 65 hundredths.